Hello, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and one of the questions that I get quite often is about my camera equipment. Right now I'm doing a handheld. This is a handheld with a wide-angle lens. It's an older JVC. You see me when I'm outside that I actually use this camera right here. This is a pro level camera, and you know, you could buy a used car with what this is worth, and you can kind of see in the thing here. I'm holding the other camera. So anyway, so this handheld I use a lot for like vlogs and stuff that I film where I can just pull this out of my pocket. But the big camera here, I use that in a lot of high quality production. I have used it as my primary camera whenever I am filming here in the office. I always use it when I'm outside. And then I have a couple of other cameras here, and I'll show you what all I have. So I use these little cameras. This right here. This is just a little tiny thing. It's just a little JVC, and it turns on and opens up automatically whenever I open it up. And it's a hard disk camera. It's actually a couple years old. I have a couple of these, and these are almost my throwaway cameras. Now, of course, when I bought them, they were, I don't know, $400 a piece or something like that. And but these days, these are, you know, not as good as what it used to be. And I think that these have, I don't know, they have hard drives in them. I think they hold 120 gigs in each one of them, which is much more than you can record in battery life. And then I have other studio quality stuff. So right here this is a DSLR. And so the DSLRs, this is a photography camera. But I do have HDMI out on it, and the lenses are interchangeable. And so, you know, I've got this right here, which is 16 to 35. That's a wide-angle lens that'll make my nose look really big. Then I've got this right here, which is a 24 to 105, which is pretty good, and this is a good general use lens. And all of these are the I think they're L series lens. They got the red stripe down in there, and very nice lenses. Now I have, though, my favorite lens here, which is not an L series lens. This is actually just a 50mm lens. It is a 1.4 on the f-stop, and what that means is, one, this is fixed. It doesn't. I can't zoom in with this. It's just set at 50mm. But the depth of field on this, and the quality of the focus, and the ability of low light on this is amazing. And I have my my setup up here, which is, you know, this is my whole computer, and in the middle here I put cameras. I got a mount right here, which is not currently in use, but that's what I'm thinking about for. I'm rebuilding everything right now, and I'm going to put this DSLR right there, as long as I can get the focus right for my movement around, because it will not autofocus much like this camcorder will, but it'll operate really well in really low light. And so I won't have to have my studio lights on when filming, and so that'll make a big difference. Now, the reason I was thinking about this is because here is the another camera which I'm getting. I was lucky enough to get a very handsome gift certificate for Amazon for Christmas, and this is the camera that I'm going to buy. It's a GoPro, and this is the top end one. It will mount to things like my helmet or my motorcycle, so when I'm out riding, that I can actually you know, actually be, I kid you not, wearing this on the top of my head, and I can, or I can mount it someplace on the bike, and so I'm going to be able to get some more video like that out on the bike, and that's going to be fun. You know, another thing I'm looking forward to is I'm actually going to put this out in the lake. And so one of the nice things about this is this camera is so durable. I am going to buy the insurance on it. They have drop and spills warranty for 3 years for $43. I think that sounds pretty reasonable, just as long as I don't lose it. And when I say lose it, well, there is something else that I've been looking at here, which I'm not going to be able to get quite yet, but let me see if I can find it here in all of these tabs that I have open. So, yeah, here it is. This is right here. This is a quadcopter, and this is something that I am looking at getting. It is let's see here. It's a basically a little helicopter there. It's a little helicopter that will hold my GoPro, and I'm going to be able to, you know, do some pretty interesting things with that. Now, the reason, you know, of course, so doing stuff so risky with the GoPro, like, I don't know, putting it thousands of feet into the air and then having something happen and it falling to the earth, you know, that is definitely a reason to have insurance. Now, the other problem though is that what happens if I get too far out of sight with it and I actually lose it? Well, the insurance won't cover that, but you know, I'll put a sticker on it that says reward and my phone number if found. So, you know, we'll see. But anyway, so that's kind of my cameras, a little overview. When I get the GoPro and start messing around with that, I'll do some videos on that, and I will also show y'all how I connect up into my PCs and everything with these. I actually use these AverMedia cards, so they have an HDMI in, and that allows for all of my cameras have an HDMI out. Whether it's mini HDMI or just standard, all of them have an HDMI out, and that is something that is required for the higher end production if you're gonna use it in a studio setting or like in my office here. So you have to have that higher end stuff. You can't. You can use a webcam. I mean, I have a webcam. It does 1080p. It does fine. But when you see the difference between a camcorder that has HDMI out and, you know, inputting it direct into the computer against a webcam, you'll be like, oh, holy cow, to up my quality, I really want to go with a camcorder, an HDMI in solution. So, you know, camcorders are getting really cheap these days, and in fact, this one that I'm filming on, it has a little bit of it looks a little bit funky, I know, in some respects, but here's why. Let me just take this off. Okay, so now I'm closer up, I'm a lot sharper, huh? This right here is my lens that I just took off of here, and it's a nice wide-angle lens. It allows me to be zoomed out as far as I can and to get more in the picture. As you can see right here, now the picture is you know, just a lot closer, but it's a lot sharper too. And so I'm going to put this back on and try and not get my fingers on it while I do that. Okay, so there we go. See the difference? So that lens was probably about $100, but what I'm getting at here is I'm actually filming this on a camcorder that I think is, I don't know, when was it made? I was just looking at the bottom of it. This has got to be 4 years old now, maybe even 5 years old. And so you can get quality, so maybe, you know, buy something that's used, and you can get it a lot cheaper. And I've been sticking with JVC stuff, but there's other stuff out there that's good as well. The JVC stuff, I'm able to edit it. Some of the other cameras, like Sony, well, Sony and JVC, they both have proprietary formats. The Sony stuff I've had a lot more trouble with, and so I've just stuck with JVC, one driver to rule them all, and that seems to work. And I use like Adobe Premiere for editing and everything, which has built in the codecs for JVC and for Sony and everything. But you know, that's another expensive program. It costs more than this camera, although I don't know how much I paid for this camera when I originally bought it. But I'd bet that this camera would be under 200 bucks on eBay now. And then, you know, you add this lens to it, and you know, maybe you could have gotten a brand new one for that price, but there's some advantages to some of the stuff, like you know, whether or not it works in low light, whether or not it's real grainy, what kind of attachments you can get for it, and just other issues like that. So anyway, do send me your questions in messages in YouTube for, you know, asking camera stuff and everything, and we'll do some more content on cameras, and you know, show you how this stuff works, how you can set it up yourself. I'll show you some examples of how I have it working. And as soon as this bad boy is done, which I'm still working on it, it's getting close though. It's I'm almost finished with the wiring on it, and as soon as that's done, I'll be plugging in a couple of the AverMedia cards into it, so that we have inputs. I have 3 total HDMI inputs going into it, and then I also have what I think is the ability for more, and it makes a big difference when you're using real cameras, and you can also use the HDMI in for computer to computer. So anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and hit me up with your questions. Send them to me in a message here on YouTube, and we will take some of them and make some videos about them. Take care.